Good morning and welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Melissa Duren Conner. She's a partner over at Bett Communications. We're going to learn more about fostering success of more female entrepreneurs, in addition to how PR agencies work. And this is so interesting to me. I deal with PR agencies all the time, but really don't understand the inner workings. Give us some inside baseball into that.
Sure. I mean, the role of a PR company is to take the stories of the brands they're working with and make sure that they're told in the most authentic, consistent way in the media where the consumer of that brand actually is consuming media, which has really diversified over the last 5 or 10 years. If you love fashion, you're not reading just fashion books. You are interested in travel. You're listening to podcasts now. You're on Facebook Live. So it's really important that you're building a mix of media where those stories are being told on all of those different platforms. So it's our job to make sure those stories come alive and are told frequently.
So Bett Communications, we'll call it JBC, going forward, you've helped generate $100 million in VC funding for the partners that you represent.
Yeah. I mean, people need to look at PR as a real driver of growth for brands. Before it was looked at as a nice to have, but now it is a vehicle to help grow and scale your brand. And that very much has to do directly with how you can actually raise money. We know that the press and the stories that we're getting on our brands are convincing investors about the scalability of a brand or the stickiness of a brand. And they're looking to those different stories and those different outlets as a barometer for where should I be investing my money, so we know it directly impacts the success of those different fundraisers that our brands are doing.
All right, now for startups, small businesses, entrepreneurs, PR can be cost prohibitive.
Sure.
So you have launched office hours to help support and empower entrepreneurs. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I think it's just important that we give back into the ecosystem. We're so lucky to work with so many amazing brands. And also have a team of talented professionals who are just excellent at what they do. And why not carve out time on a regular basis to help the next generation of female entrepreneurs get an understanding of what PR is, because what we've learned is that's the biggest question people have. They don't understand how much they should pay, what they should expect out of PR, how to tell their story, where to tell their story. So we've opened up our doors once a month to let those women come in and just get the 101. And I think it's just really important. It's just part of our value system.
Yeah, and I do a lot of work with JBC. We've had a number of your women entrepreneurs come on. I love the stories, particularly on the sustainable. And we've had travel companies come on, intimate companies come on, and it's been a great story. You work a lot with the Female Founder Collective. She's next empowered by Visa. So it's Female Founders Day. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so that was something we came up with a very good friend of my partner, Jen's, Rebecca Minkoff. And how do we scale everything that we're doing in a bigger way? How do we scale the support we're giving female founders beyond just our roster, beyond just the office hours we were doing? And we came up with this conference where it was more of a workshop format where you can sit down. We're replicating office hours basically with different tracks. So legal, fundraising, operations, PR, marketing. And you get one-on-one kind of small, intimate settings with thought leaders in those spaces. And it's been amazing. Our third one is coming up on March 4th. And She's Next, Empowered by Visa, has been a sponsor of ours since the beginning, which has been amazing. And it's just been wonderful seeing all these women come in. Their businesses are at all different life cycles. We have women who are pre-launch, that are in the middle of their business or have been doing it for 10 years and are still trying to figure out different elements of their operational structure. And what we get back from them is saying, what I learned in those workshops, I went back and applied to my business, and it has directly affected it positively.
Yeah, it's really interesting because of the women that I've had on my show through JBC, the big trend is community.
Yep.
Within the company and externally with their clients. I think that's really interesting. You're starting to see that with big partnerships. Walmart is doing something on the pharmaceutical end where it's all about community. Do you think that's a trend that's going to continue? Because everything's been about online, and a lot of your women entrepreneurs, they're going back into brick and mortar locally.
Absolutely. Consumers today are more educated and more empowered than they ever have been. That is why what we do on the PR front had to change, because the brands were realizing that as a consumer, they want to know who's the founder, how is it made, where is it made, are these sustainable practices. So when they're voting with their dollar, they want to feel invested. So that is community. At the end of the day, shopping and engaging with brands is in real life. So I think launching online was the fastest way to get to market. The barrier of entry was really low, but you always still had to bring it back into real life experiences, whether it's retail or community-based events. So humans want interaction. It does not matter if you're engaging with fashion or beauty or travel. So I think that anything that's surrounded by community is where you're going to have that like long-lasting brand equity, that loyalty, where the consumer's going to keep coming back. So I think it's really, really important.
That's awesome. I love that trend. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for joining
of
us at
course.
Market Site. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino.